Hi, this is Mark Waid, writer of Superman Birthright, and you're listening to Krypton Report.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's the Krypton Report!
Host Tyler, and welcome to Krypton Report, a podcast dedicated to all things Superman, Supergirl. We're going to look at the Supergirl TV series as well as the Krypton TV series, anything that has to do with the characters in their world. Comics, movies, TV shows. We will talk about everything and anything. We are part of the Southgate Media Group podcasting network. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Krypton Report. You can also email us at kryptonreportpod@gmail.com. If you get a chance to go over to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review to help us get better. You can find me personal at JTYPatrick on Twitter and everything else. You can buy a Krypton Report t-shirt at tpublic.com. Check it out. They have all sizes, colors, styles of shirts. Just go to tpublic.com and search Krypton Report, and you'll see our logo. And every time you buy a shirt, it helps support other podcasts from southgatemedia.com. Thank you. Enjoy the show. And welcome to the Krypton Report. It is I, Tyler, your host, your Superman Blue, and with me is the other, Caped Wonder, that awesome guy, Mr. James Cole, the Superman Red. Welcome, James.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well.
Glad to be here.
Today is a good episode. We're going to talk about Krypton, but we're also going to talk about Action Comics #1, the book that set it all into motion. The greatest book in comic book history.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, Kickstart, it's the grandfather issue. Was it April 1938?
Yep, and as we approach our good old, 1000.
Yep.
We take a step back and just kind of review. So, before we get into that, let's talk about some news. We'll start with the small stuff and move our way forward. Let's see, small stuff. As of this recording, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay is out on physical media. I don't know about everyone out there, but I like, when it comes to these movies and stuff, I like to do the physical media. I prefer having the discs and the movies to collect, and it's so much easier than trying to always stream stuff.
Oh, me as well. I'm all about the physical media.
Let's see. The 80th, this past Wednesday, the 80 Years of Superman, the Deluxe Edition hardbound special was released. I picked my copy up today. I totally forgot about it till my comic shop called and told me.
Oh, nice.
And let's see.
Yeah, I got a whole bundle of stuff I gotta grab next Friday on the 20th.
Nice.
Yeah, the poster, the 80th book.
Is the poster out? See, that's the thing, is I don't know if the poster's out, because I asked him at the shop and he said he didn't know. But we will see. You think it would be out? Maybe it comes out next week.
Yeah, it might come out with it.
Right. And let's see.
I'm kind of checking my.
I think that's the smallest. The next is, we'll jump to, there are alternative covers for other comics to celebrate Action Comics 1000. We've seen 3 of them. We have Justice League of America, which features Superman front and center, but it's the most recent suit incarnation of Superman. We have Birds of Prey 21. This is all for the 80th anniversary of the current incarnation of Superman. It's kind of playing off Action Comics #1. And then we have Detective 978, which shows Superman and Batman together on the cover. So we have those three.
Yeah, those 80th anniversary covers are pretty sweet. It's going to take a long time and a lot of money and time to track down all of the issue 1000 variant covers.
Good luck.
Oh yeah. And the nice thing about these covers though is he doesn't seem to be wearing the red trunks in any of these covers.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, I thought they were like going for the current, but
all right. I do like that Birds of Prey, reminiscent of Action Comics #1, with the girls on the bike instead of smashing the car to bits.
Yeah, it is very nice. Yeah. And then the next thing we got is, we'll talk about it, is they released some behind the scenes shots of the Titans series. And people are going crazy, like hating on Starfire. So we'll start here. The one of Dick Grayson with his messenger bag looks fine. But but what I want to say is all these shots are them out of costume, behind the scenes. So there's no CG. And the Starfire thing, for all we know, is it could be something where she has a thing to make her look normal. And because everyone's talking about, her skin and not being like real Starfire. Did you ever watch, what was it called? X-Men. It was
Evolution.
Yeah,
with Nightcrawler.
Yes. What if she has something like that kind of disguises her to make her look more human? We don't know. This is all behind the scenes stuff, and people are just blowing it out of proportion before it can even, get started. Like, let's wait till we actually see something.
Yeah, set photos without any polish, without any special effects. I mean, yeah, they're freaking out about it, and I mean, if that's what we get, I'm sorry to say that would be terrible, but otherwise, I mean, I was kind of thinking the same thing. There's no special effects. I mean, somebody with orange and green skin, kind of hard to hide like that in plain sight. And, for even if they were to have more of a television type budget, it would cost less to say that they have, some kind of way of hiding, holographic device or what have you, to have the person, outside of the practical effects and the special effects to make them look like normal, it would cost less too.
Exactly. So I don't get people. Like, just calm down, okay? Wait. So, like, we see a trailer. We can actually be like, oh, so that's what it's supposed to look like. Ooh, that does not look good.
Right? An actual official shot of Starfire and Beast Boy.
Exactly. So I'm still, like, looking forward to this show.
Yeah, the in the shot with Beast Boy, I mean, the girl playing Raven, she looks like she's walking around with a smoothie. I don't even think that's like filming. I think that's like walking around behind the set.
Exactly. People get so crazed over behind the scenes photos, especially in this day and age where a lot of stuff is finished in post, or like I put a line, we don't even know the context of the scene. Mm-hmm. It'd be like if someone said there's a new Batman movie coming out, and the only image we saw was the Nightmare Batman. People would be losing their crap because they're like, "Oh my god, that's not Batman!" Blah blah blah. But then when you see the film and you realize what's going on, you're like, "Oh, okay."
Right. I did look it up real quick, at least for my comic shop. They've got the poster and everything going on sale on the 18th. So I think it's going along with the release of 1000.
Cool. I'm going to have to find that thing online. is
$9.99 is what I've got posted here for it.
worth it.
Oh, absolutely. It's like 27 by 40 something. Nice size poster with 1,000 covers on it.
Bust out the magnifying glass. All right. So let's move on over to our good friend Krypton. All right. So we got
two bits of news real quick though. You heard? Oh no, not a problem.
Keep in mind.
The guy, the actor who voices Aqualad has come out and said that they finished recording all 26 episodes for Young Justice season 3.
Good.
So,
gosh,
a little bit of news. Yeah, that's great. I can't wait for a trailer to finally come out for that. Hopefully we'll see something at Comic-Con.
That'd be nice.
Right. And then, Colton Haynes, I believe is his name.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I know it's Haynes. I just can't remember if it's Colton or, yeah. Okay. Yep. He is back as a series regular, Roy Harper in season 7 of Arrow.
Which is awesome.
I enjoyed him as Arsenal, and I was kind of sad to see him go when he left, and Speedy took his place.
Okay.
Thea kicked ass at the time, but I don't know. It didn't.
I like Roy's story, and I don't know. I feel like Arrow is, with this season, is kind of retreading certain things, like themes, but I feel like someone in the writer's room was like, hey, you know what? I really liked where we were going with this, but we could have done it this way. And they decide to bring back like certain ideas and threads, like the whole, I thought we were past that Oliver was the Green Arrow, but nope. That's what this is all about. Now we're bringing back Roy. So it's just like they're just trying to fix things that maybe they didn't do as well as they should have the first time.
Right. But that's about all I got.
All right. So, Krypton, episode 4. Was it the Word of Rao, right?
The Word of Rao.
Yeah. Started off, I thought it was really interesting because we got kind of what I thought of was the scene in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back where Darth Vader, the first time we see him without the helmet, like just the back of his head, because we got a shot of the voice of Rao without his mask, like behind the head as he's putting it on.
Right.
And I was like, oh, interesting. And one thing I have to say real quick is I feel sorry for Seg and his haircut. Like, he has the worst hairstyle ever. Like, I just feel bad for him.
Well, he's a rankless. He doesn't have a gilded barber to take care of his head.
That's true, but he did say he's not rankless anymore. Which I thought was interesting.
Well, he's part of the Science Guild now, so doesn't spend much time there as of yet. But
I'll say, it'd be nice if we could see him get in the Science Guild.
This episode did answer some questions that we've had as we go along. Finally, we did get some answers. 4th episode in, and we've got some answers for some different plot points moving forward. And I gotta say outright that
linear today.
Oh, don't have to be linear today. Okay, well, all right, not a problem. Okay, sounds good.
Because if you're listening to this, you probably already watched the episode, so we can hit the highlights.
There we go. So Nissa, she's talking to her father, about Lyda being used as a scapegoat to, justify the rankless initiative when it failed. So she talks to her dad knowing that it's a lie, knowing that he is being, forced by the voice of Rao to have a scapegoat. So the voice doesn't look, so the voice in his regime doesn't look weak. But they reveal that they're actually trying to overthrow voice of Rao.
Which is crazy.
Trying to stay.
I was just like, okay, so
Right.
everything you're doing is kind of shady, because
Yeah.
you're trying to overthrow the voice, but yet you've been the one that's been like the super servant.
Yeah. No, I mean, they talk about when the voice had come into power that things had changed, since the voice had risen to power. So kind of seems like their hands have been tied at this point, to what they've been going through. But yeah, they want to overthrow the ruler, and, the House of L, is actually important to that because people respect the House of L.
Mm-hmm. They, and it just kind of was like crazy, and then,
Sorry, you cut out. I can't hear you.
sorry, there's a lot of kids running around upstairs. I said it's crazy because you wouldn't think that they'd be trying to get rid of the voice, and you wouldn't think that they are working against it. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like it's weird because they make some comments about the House Zod being. So it was weird that they kept referencing House Zod as being this, like, great, loyal, noble house since Krypton began. And it almost makes us think that later on that Zod might have had more reason for his coup. And he wasn't as selfish as it's been kind of portrayed before.
Right. Well, I mean, it's been portrayed before as selfish. He wanted to rule. He believed he should rule, but then also, he, trying to do it for the good of his planet, his people.
But
what
I found interesting. Go ahead.
Oh, just speaking of Zod, they actually called her, they called Primus Zod Jaina this episode.
Yeah, they referenced her. And it makes me wonder if there was times before they called her Allura, and maybe they had to edit it out or something. And then they were able to insert the Jaina, because I did catch that. Because when I watch it with subtitles on, just because there is a lot of dialogue going on that sometimes you might not hear the words clearly.
Yeah, me as well.
Now, what I really liked was just the scenes we got with Kim taking Una to basically like his foster mother and trying to prep her for the fact that Ram, her mother, might die. And, it's a holiday for the voice of Rao, for Rao, period. And Kim I love when he says basically that he will take care of her. And Una basically recognizes her mom.
Yeah, Kim did a pretty good job there. Basically he was an orphan, and he decides to take Ona and take care of her, seeing that her mother dies in this episode.
And it was crazy that Una was like accepted to be one of like the servants to the voice of Rao, and he takes her when she offers the offering, he takes her and then he dresses her in the robes. And that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. She put up an offering, and, Kem told him that her mother loved Rao more than anyone. And yeah, he took her on, and yeah, that was pretty crazy. The robes, and how the other, words, they have they have writing across their faces.
Very, very interesting. Is all I gotta say. Now, we're kind of jumping around here, but we did get people who were dressed as Sagittarii, who were not Black Zero like we had hoped, but they had worked or manipulated from Black Zero. And who would it be but Oliver Queen's stepdad?
Yep, Walter Steele was his name in Arrow. He's a commander of some kind of military group.
I'm starting to wonder.
What did you think of that freaky bug they used?
I kept thinking of Matrix. I was like, man, that's creepy, but like, I just kept thinking about the scene in the Matrix.
Right.
Even Solomon was like, Daddy, what's going on?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
Right. Did you catch the Adam Strange R2-D2 name drop?
Yeah, I like the Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange. Yep.
He was like, Mr. Strange was my father.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, dude. I want to see Adam Strange do something. Like in a costume or... This is episode 4. And we have 10, I believe, total for the season. So we'll see. The end. What did you think of the end?
What did I think of the end? The voice getting possessed by the Sentry.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I was wondering what was going to happen. I kind of thought that Ona was going to end up like having the parasite or something, and she was going to become a Sentry and do something to the voice. Thought it was all going to come to the voice, but yeah, I didn't see it coming right away until he picked up the offering, the little statue, and then it just burst open and the parasite shot into his arm.
I was like, holy crap. And then like he ripped the mask off, but we still didn't see his face.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy. But now basically Brainiac has control of the most powerful person, the most influential person on the planet, or at least in their city.
Exactly.
That was pretty crazy at the very beginning that the voice actually, like, he lit up the city. He opened the dome or something, like made it transparent so it was daylight out. That must be how.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that must be how they go from day to night, seeing as the planet is like always one half in sun and the other half was always in dark.
Yeah, I kind of was wondering like that because that was pretty intense. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was big time there. So Nyssa and Dev and Primus, it's said out loud that Lyta and Seg love each other in this episode.
Yes, it is.
While Seg is trying to get Nyssa to get Lyta released because she's basically going to be put to death for treason.
Because of the stupid person and voice of Ramos.
Yes. Like, it's a big setup, too. Like, they have Kalda, the woman who was arrested. They have a video of her, lying through her teeth about the whole situation. And, like it is a big time frame job.
It's messed up. That's all I got to say. I don't know, man. Like, I'm curious because in some ways, do you watch Game of Thrones?
I has started, but I am only like second season, so
that's not bad. That's fine. It's just you have enough to realize like how people like betray each other and like everyone's working their own angles. I kind of feel like they're kind of getting a little bit of that vibe of trying to with Krypton. But once again, this episode, we did not return to the Cape.
Nope.
I guess I like this episode. I like where it's going. I want Brainiac to come.
Yeah. There were some pretty cool things in the episode. Like it was actually kind of cool. Nyssa modeling her own clothes with holograms, how she would look in them before she even tried them on.
Which is kind of cool. I do.
Yeah. Which led to an interesting scene of her dropping clothes in front of Seg and him kind of like being all struck about it.
Yeah. It kind of made me think like Seg's like, yeah, okay.
Right.
It'd been funny if he just kind of like laughed at her and walked away.
Yeah, right. What was crazy is that Commander, unfortunately we don't know who he is or what he's doing. He knows about he knows about Brainiac. Yeah.
He straight out says to him like about Brainiac, and Seg says that in the episode they kind of lead us to believe that the Sentry of Brainiac wants to take over the fortress. He talks about the most powerful, I'm trying to remember the word he uses, the most powerful something, and it makes you think of the fortress, but really it's the voice of Rao.
Yeah, I think it's more of the person in like the highest position of control, because Ram was in the fortress, so basically he already had a sentry inside the fortress. But then when he severed his connection to the sentry, Ram died.
Poor Ram.
Right. What was kind of cool was Seg talking to the commander and talking about them wanting to trust each other and stuff. Was you can start by breaking someone out of Fort Roz.
Yes, they mentioned. I was kind of saving that for the big. Like, I love it. I love it because they're trying to bring home everything Kryptonian from all the different stuff.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, it was pretty ballsy in this episode, not wasting any time when they reveal, trying to start the military coup to take over from the Voice. That she went right to Jane Azad, straight to her to plead with her as a mother to lead the coup, to have Nyssa and her father's back.
Oh, I know. I was just like, wow. She was ballsy.
Yeah. Well, they're lawmakers. You know what I mean? They always have their own agenda, right?
It's true. It is very true. But I think that pretty much sums it all up.
Yeah, pretty much.
James, one thing that we forgot. I forgot to get you. We got the picture release of Monel's costume, like in high definition. What thoughts on Monel's costume?
Monel's costume. I think it looks great. It really does. It's very similar to the costume. It's probably an old screen test version of Superman's costume. Looks very similar. There's some differences to it, but it looks really good. And the color, the red, the way the red stands out with that design, it looks really good.
I really like, just from the costume, like all around, I like the blue that like comes through the costume on the sides and like the thighs.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the belt. If they were to do that to the Superman costume and like the collar, like I really like the collar. If they were to like put that on the Superman costume, it might be my favorite Superman costume or close to it. I'm still looking for the boots. I want to see what Monel's boots are going to look like because I hate Superman's boots.
Yeah. I actually just went back and watched some Superman, Supergirl stuff on YouTube, and must say the suit actually doesn't look as out of place as you might remember, especially from the early stills when it was like, that's really what the suit looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great in action.
It does.
I'm just not a fan of the way the cape connects, and I'm not a fan of the boots and the belt. Those are my biggest. It's a huge part of the suit. I get it, but the belt looks really awkward and non-needed and very high up. The boots are very blocky. I mean, the cape, the way it connects is not horrible. It's just not my favorite. But I can respect that decision.
Right. And that's the way that Monel's cape attaches as well. The same style. And, from the stills, like we say, most of the stills that first come out for suits, there's always a little good, a little bad. I think this suit looks pretty good.
We haven't got like the official, how everyone gets like their little poster reveal of them in their suit. Like when we saw behind the scenes of Rain, then we got a picture, like a poster of Rain in her suit.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't got a Monel picture, but I'm glad we got your thoughts here on the costume because it is a pretty big deal, and we'll see how it pans out. It'll probably be like an episode or two before he'll show up in it. Because it seems like we always get pictures and then everything drops later.
Yeah, it's nice that it's more comic accurate. Getting away from, for whatever reason, the Legion wearing their black leather 2000. Yeah, Brian.
All right, so we're breaking live in a home living room recording for a discussion. Who all's here? Go ahead and say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
That's right. I got the Superboy himself, Mr. Solo, and my wondrous wonder wife, Jania. Yeah. So we're just going to talk real quick and add to the conversation. Yesterday, the first clear, full image of Chris Wood's official Monel costume was released, and we're just going to kind of talk about it a little bit. We'll let Jania go first. Ju, what do you think of the costume?
I'm not. Okay, so it's basically like the inversion of the Superman costume, if you think about it.
Yes. I have a picture here. Where is it? There, of the Tyler Hoechlin costume and the Monel costume. And you can tell, we've seen in the costume designers basically kind of reuse costumes and ideas and stuff to make new costumes. But, I like the Monel costume. That was always Monel's costume, was the opposite color inversion of Superman's.
I get that. It's so similar. The collar's a little bit different. It looks more New 52 style.
Yeah, he's got the collar. Monel does.
Mm-hmm.
Superman doesn't.
Right.
His belt I like better than what they gave Superman.
Yeah, Superman's belt is extremely chunky.
The Tyler Superman costume, I like the blue suit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a fan of the belt, the cape, and the boots.
With the inversion of the colors. Yeah, Solomon.
Yeah.
I think that it actually looks better. Like, it flows more, in my opinion.
Well,
I really love his cape, by the way. It looks like it's leather.
Yeah, the dark blue cape leather looks really good. Like I said, I like the belt because it's thinner and has a little bit of yellow.
My phone.
It doesn't look bulky, but I like how he has these like side stripes of blue like on his abdomen and on his thighs to break up the color. Mm-hmm. Compared to like Superman doesn't have anything like that on his suit.
No.
We're talking.
Yeah, we're talking.
We're talking, Superman.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that suit, Solo?
Yeah,
Daddy. What do you like? What do you think about that? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What colors are there?
That one is red and blue.
Yeah. Very
What's Solo's favorite color?
My favorite is red.
Oh, your favorite's red, huh? So you really like that suit?
Yeah.
Would you wear it?
Yeah.
Would you wear that suit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that I wanted to point out is it looks like he has a chest emblem.
Yes.
Okay, Superman.
Okay. Now, that kind of bugs me
Superman.
Yes.
just because, and it looks like it's inserted into the suit, like it's under it. Now,
Now.
why it bothers me is because they have done the character's name completely wrong. Okay? As I've said before, Monel was a name that was given to him by Clark Superman because he thought he was Kryptonian, and he was basically adopting him into the family fold. And later they found out he was Daxamite. Originally his name was Largon, and I hate that they've never really gone that way with the show. I hate that they just named him Monel and left it at that because he's Daxamite. They've proven that, and L is a Kryptonian name. Now here are some
Superman.
Monel costumes from the comics. Okay.
Okay.
Now we see the inverse of the colors, but later on Monel wore a small Superman emblem to the side, as we see in this one right here.
Right.
So, and I don't have a problem with that, because it was to honor Superman and to work with him. Superman, saved Monel's life because he put him in the Phantom Zone when he got lead poisoning until Superman could find a way to cure him. And Monel became like a caretaker, protector, keeping things in the Phantom Zone. So, jumping back to Chris Wood's costume, I like it. I hate that it's
So we've got that shadow of the emblem.
right, and there's no connection for him to be called Monel.
Right.
That he's not really earned that. And then of course he's got his hair looks like lighter blonde.
Yeah.
And we don't see the boots yet, so I'm wondering if the boots will be something different, or they'll just be Superman boots recolored.
Yeah.
I mean, this picture here, you can see.
You can definitely see the outline of some kind of an emblem.
But the texture of the suit, it's the same fabric and everything.
Well, look at this. Right here, up here in this corner where the end of the emblem would be, you've got a hint of gold.
Yeah, it looks like it's poking out.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, we've seen them reuse costumes before, the Jesse Quick costume is a reworked version of the Trajectory costume from Flash, and we've also seen the Arrow costume was the same costume for Prometheus, just they added the Prometheus mask, it was a different color. So I mean, it's not uncommon to rework what they have, which isn't a problem.
It's purple.
But what do you think, Solomon? Do you like the red costume?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You think?
I like that the colors are not exactly the same. I like that it's not a
Why you like it?
super bright red.
What do you like?
That it's more like a maroonish red.
Yeah, and the blue is a deeper blue. It's nice.
What do you
It's not
like?
it's not
You like the
navy.
red one?
I do like the red one.
I do like the blue one.
So which one of these two costumes would you wear, Solomon?
I wear the red one.
Okay.
So you would wear Monel's costume?
Yeah. You wear the blue one.
Oh, okay. I'll wear Superman's.
All right. Well, thank you, Solomon, for talking with us.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Fans, boys and girls, it's that time. Now, if you don't have it, okay, so if you don't have it to go over, I will say that if you bought the 80 Years of Superman Deluxe Edition, it is in there. You can also grab it for $2 on Amazon, Kindle, or iTunes Books, whatever it's called, and get a digital copy. So James and I are going to bust out our Action Comics Number 1.
I have it right here, pulled up on my DC app from Comixology on my tablet.
All right. So, really quick, I'm pulling mine out right now. Give me a second, because my other book's upstairs, where I was reading my my reprint that my best friend got me for my birthday. So I'm gonna grab this version here. What's crazy is how quickly his origin is discussed. The first page, first panel, Superman by Jerome Siegel and Joe Shuster. And I'll read this part. As a distant planet was destroyed by old age, a scientist placed his infant son within a hastily devised spaceship, launching it towards Earth. That's all we get. And then, when the vehicle landed on Earth, a passing motorist discovering the sleeping baby within turned the child over to an orphanage. And it talks about the attendants were unaware of the child's strength. Think of that, 3 panels.
Right. Yeah, I mean, 3 panels for the origin. That's it.
But I mean, even then, like, so much that we think about of Superman's stories, not there. No Kents, no farm. He went to an orphanage, and then the next part is when he reached maturity, he discovered, these powers. And they even have a little thing at the bottom about a scientific explanation of his strength, about bugs lifting. And it's just wow,
Right. Yeah, they go from the baby in the rocket to a toddler, still a baby holding a chair over his head, and then to full adulthood. They do start off with the, leap an eighth of a mile, hurdle a 20-story building, raise tremendous weights, and run faster than an express train. So it's kind of nice shortly thereafter. Fleischer, leap tall buildings in a single bound, faster than a locomotive.
And I'm thinking about, like, after we do this, maybe looking at Superman issue 1, which was released in 1939 as the first single character comic book, because it has more details in its everything. But what I like is we get Superman basically, right into action. You turn the page, he's already has someone he's saving, and that he's going to stop an innocent woman from being murdered, and he's after the governor.
Yeah, stopping to get a governor to put a stay on an execution. The person the lady he's carrying in the first 2 panels on the next page is the woman who committed the crime and is tied up. And
we get, what I think is so interesting is the artwork of Superman. Like, you can barely make out like the S on his chest, and the boots are all blue. Like, it's single colored on his boots. On the cover, they're red, but in the book, it's blue. And, we have this, he gets the governor, we have the ticking clock, and everything that's going on. And, for a moment here, like, I didn't think about this the first time I was looking at it, on the page. I don't even know what page number it is because it's all different. But if we look at it, we see the ticking clock, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the panel of, like, the person begging with the priest, stop, the governor has pardoned her. And then we have the next morning, Kent leaves for the newspaper upon which he works as a reporter. That's the first use of the name Kent.
Yeah.
And we see where it says the Daily Star.
Yeah. His name was Clark Kent, and he worked for the Daily Star, not the Daily Planet.
We haven't even got Clark yet. And,
no?
And we haven't even Did you ever, like, we have editor. No name, just editor. He says,
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of Superman? What? Listen, Chief, if I can't find out anything about this Superman, no one can. Then he darts out to stop I love it. Hurry, Kent. A phone and tip of a wife beating at 211 Court Avenue. I'm on my way. Boom. There's Superman. Throwing a wife beater around.
Yeah. Yeah, what's nice about Superman in this first issue is, like, he kind of does what it takes. Like, he busts into the governor's house in the front door. He rips off the steel door to the governor's room, where apparently a paranoid governor is, sleeping in a lockdown vault. And then he goes to the wife beater and, like, throws him up against the wall.
I love it. I love the dude pulls a knife and he breaks on him, and then he changes back. And you know what? As I was reading, I was like, are we supposed to realize right away that Kent and Superman are the same person? Because this panel here, where it says, hearing police sirens, Superman hurries down street corners, or hurries, dons street clothes over his uniform. It would be just too bad if they search me. And then the next page, what are you doing here? And it's Kent. I mean, I can't figure out if we're supposed to know they're the same person yet, or if it's, going to tie together. But then at the bottom, and that next panel is where we get to meet Lois for the first time.
Mm-hmm. And Clark's asking her out on a date in the first issue.
And
she actually calls him Clark, so they call him Kent early on, but they eventually call him Clark Kent in the book.
Right here. Please, Clark. I've been scribbling sob stories all day long. Don't ask me out to dish out another. And then she calls him Clark again. So we've given Clark and Kent right off. And now we have, in the first issue, the first time Superman does anything, guess who's in trouble? Lois Lane.
Yep.
And I love the thugs and everybody who's just, like, they don't know who he is. Look out, you'll hit him. It says Superman. I wonder if he he got stabbed by the knife and it broke. So he's got his invulnerability, I guess.
In the early panel there, when they talk about his strengths, it says, and that nothing less than as soon as it focuses here, nothing less than a bursting shell could penetrate his skin.
Yeah, and he gets shot right there. The bullet rockets off Superman's skin.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to see the kind of in-comic panel of the Action One cover of him holding. The cover is different, but that's pretty much where they get the idea of the cover of him holding the car up.
It's funny. He holds the car up, he shakes it out, catches Lois, and then smashes their car into bits. And he takes Butch, and he jumps him around.
Oh, yeah.
Scares the crap out of him.
I love it. And then, I love, Lois sees him and he says, "You needn't be afraid of me. I won't harm you." Superman heads toward the city with Lois in his arms. And then we see Lois telling the editor, "But I tell you, I saw Superman. Are you sure it wasn't pink elephants you saw?" And then we have, and the next one says, "Lois treats Clark colder than ever." So there's a reference of Clark. And it says, "Clark receives an assignment." So, there's no Jimmy Olsen in this. And we get a panel of the train. It says, "Kent takes the train not towards San Monte, but to Washington, D.C. So he went the opposite direction of where he was supposed to go.
Yep. And the next thing he comes across is a government, a government corruption scandal going on.
And he ain't gonna take that. Nope.
No, he literally drags the guy around by his foot.
Yep. He
running across telephone wires and
takes him to Washington, D.C. And it's pretty like crazy how it ends. If you think about it, he's taking the guy down, but it ends on a to be continued.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes me wonder where it continues, because in this 80th volume, it has Action Comics issue number 2.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, and I read it, and it picks up right where it left off. It does. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Maybe I should get more.
I got it here. I got it here if I wanted to buy it for 99 cents, but.
And then at the bottom, I love it says, and so begins the startling adventures of the most sensational strip character of all time, Superman. Because remember, they were still, trying to pitch this as a comic strip. The comic book really hadn't been invented, or it's been kind of such a collection, and it's not been really what we know as the book as much. So they're still thinking, they want to pitch Superman as the dailies. And eventually Superman was a daily comic for a while.
Yeah, I do have a book, Superman Sunday Classics, 1939 to 1943.
It's great. I used to have that, and I don't know what happened to it. It made me mad. I can't find it in one of my moves. So I'm going to have to rebuy it.
Yeah, I lost a couple of books in my remove. It was a couple of Batman. Luckily, it wasn't Superman.
Yeah, good. Couldn't handle. Because I remember,
right?
Because I remember that one shows Jor-El running at the beginning, like one of it shows, and I mean, there's a whole history of what Action Comics number, 1 means. We went to Cleveland, where it was created, and we saw the building that the Daily Planet's based off of, and there's a lot of really greatness that's come from that comic.
Mm-hmm. I got that panel you sent me of from Action Comics number 2 up to Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, I was like, yes, some Ohio representation. But I mean, that's all we got for this episode. I mean, we talked about Action Comics. It's a quick read, because Action, the first issue, wasn't a Superman book. Superman was Action Comics was several different adventure stories, action stories in a book, like an anthology book, and Superman was added to it late, and there's a couple other stories that were part of it, and then it was chosen and done as the cover, and then because of the success of Superman, that's what people wanted. That's eventually Action Comics just became a Superman book.
Yeah. His story is only about 14 pages long, and it's nice, visiting the first one when issue 1000 comes out next week.
Yeah, I mean, to hold those two next to each other is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even if I get a reprint of Action Comics number 1 to hold next to Action Comics 1000, I mean, that's great, because I don't have $3 million to buy me a first print.
Oh yeah, you don't? Me neither.
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Krypton Report. You can also email us at kryptonreportpod@gmail.com. If you get a chance to go over to iTunes, please leave us a review to help us get better.
If you're an Amazon shopper, just remember you can go to southgatemediagroup.com. There's a portal, log into Amazon, and you'll shop into your account just regular, but it also helps keep all the podcasts on and helps keep Southgate running. Remember, look up in the sky.